Hello there. This is a short video that will describe how attendance taking with uhere.org works. To begin, uhere has two parts, the group leaders part and the participants part. We'll assume you're a potential group leader needing attendance since you're here watching this. So in this part here, you'll use this site to set up and administer your attendance. For example, your attendance roster and records will always appear here just for you to see. Each of our participants will need to install the app on their own phone, and that's what they'll use to check in. So in operation, you as the group leader really have no use for the app, and likewise, the participants have no use for the website. We find keeping things separate like this allows us to maintain a very robust privacy policy. In particular, we're glad that your participants do not have to make an account on a website, which all told would just be another website and all that entails to make an account. This also makes the role of each easier to understand. So, you as the group leader, let's discuss what has to be done now to get attendance going. Right after logging in for the very first time, you'll be greeted with this screen. As promised, we do not ask you for any more personal information past your login email. Since most of our users use a map-based check-in, we'll show you how that works now. To do that, click the blue drop-down at the very top and select Create a Map-Based Check-in. When you do so, you'll see a new page with a map on it and a few other fill-ins. Let's look at each. The first is the class code. This is a short bit of text that organizes your attendance information on the site. You can think of it like a folder on your computer that might organize your documents. You'll also need to give this class code to your participants so their check-ins from the app can be routed properly. We'll show you how to do that in a bit. You'll also need to tell uhere your local time, so check-in times can be enforced at your particular locality if needed. You'll also see a map that you can use to set the check-in location for your participants. Scrolling down a bit on the same page, you'll see that indeed the map can be panned and zoomed to pinpoint your check-in location down to about the level of a building. Also, there's a blue button at the bottom here that allows you to set time ranges for accepting check-ins. Here, for example, we're going to allow check-ins on Monday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. As you configure check-in times, you'll see a list of them collected down here at the bottom. So in this particular case, the participants must be at this location on Monday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in order to check in. Click Save when you're done, and you'll be taken back to the initial screen that you saw when you first logged in, except for now, you can see that your check-in event is listed. There's two more things you need to do before you register ready for enrollment. The first, you need to set Allow New Enrolls to Yes, and set the attendance mode to Normal. And you see I've done that here. This allows students to enroll in your class, this allows them to check in, and gives you some degree of control over when and how this happens if needed. Next, you need to get your participants involved. You need to communicate with them and get them to download and install the app on their own phone. Each uses the app on their own phone to check in. When the app's first run, it'll ask them for their name, which is used to build your attendance roster back on your account at the website. And notice as your participants use the app, our privacy policy is clearly stated and embedded right in the app itself. The person is next greeted with the main uhere button screen. The first thing they have to do for attendance is to enroll in your attendance event using that class code mentioned above. So if they tap on this blue enroll button, they'll be taken to a screen like this. And you can see where your class code can be tapped in, and it's used to connect this app with your check-in event so check-ins can be routed properly. And they only need to enroll like this one time. After that, they're all set just to check in. Next, they'll go back to the main button screen. If they tap the green check-in button, they'll see a selection of check-in events that they can check into. You may just have one, or even you may have more than one, or maybe other people might be using uhere as well. In either case, all those check-in events will appear down here. If they select your check-in event that we called My Check-in and tap Go, the app will determine if they're in the right location at the right time, and if so, we'll check them in. Please notice as you use our app that it does not ask your participants for any personal information at all, nor does it have any ads or in-app purchase. It's a very simple app used only for checking in. Back on the uhere website, you'll see that your attendance roster will begin to form as students enroll, and their check-in numbers will change as they check in. And that's it. That's how attendance works using uhere.org. Please contact us if you have any questions, and we'd love to see you using uhere for any of your attendance needs. Thanks for watching.